Everybody loves to talk about Portra and Ektar, but today we're giving some overdue love to one of the most underrated color film stocks available, Kodak Pro Image 100, a film stock that quietly crushes it behind the scenes while all the fancy films steal the limelight. Despite shooting quite literally hundreds of rolls of film before this video, prior to start making this video, I think I only shot Pro Image 100 once. Honestly, kind of embarrassing to forget, especially considering I'm making content for YouTube. Well, this winter I stumbled across a box on sale and figured I would give it a shot. The already super cheap professional Kodak film was on sale too, so it felt like a no-brainer. What I came to learn about the film in the meantime was super interesting. Kodak Pro Image 100 first showed up in the late 1990s, around 1997 to be specific. But here's the plot twist. It wasn't really actually for US or European markets at all. Kodak designed Pro Image primarily for emerging markets, places like Latin America, Southeast Asia, and India. They wanted to offer a professional grade film that could survive tougher conditions without needing refrigerated storage all the time. All these places have a lot more hot, humid weather than the US, so they're aiming to make a film stock that would be safe for those environments. While Kodak's high-end films like Portra and Ektar are getting babied in climate-controlled stores like New York and Paris, Pro Image was out here raw dogging 95-degree days in Manila and Sao Paulo and doing quite well. In a general sense, it was made to be cheaper than Portra and Ektar, more durable against heat and humidity, simple and reliable for any kind of work, portraits, weddings, events, stuff everyday photographers actually needed, and still professional enough to produce images a lab or client would love, you can print out, etc. In fact, Kodak even advertised it back then as low-price, high-quality professional film, which sounds like a scam, but in this case, it was actually true. In the late 90s through the 2000s, Pro Image 100 was widely available in non-US markets. It's beloved by wedding photographers, studio portrait shooters, and commercial labs that needed consistency without spending big bucks. In the 2010s, as films start slowly making a comeback and online film communities grow, word leaks out, and DIY photographers and travel shooters start importing Pro Image from Asia and Latin America. In early 2019, Kodak finally gets the hint and officially releases Pro Image 100 in the United States for the first time. It's treated like basically a new product, even though it was quietly crushing it internationally for over 20 years at that point. Which you can probably tell with the packaging, it literally looks the same. It hasn't changed since the 90s, basically. It still looks like something you'd find dusty on a corner pharmacy shelf. And even now, Kodak is quietly but proudly still producing Kodak Pro Image 100 while other films have been discontinued, probably because it is printing money for them internationally. If you've been watching the channel for a minute, you know how much I try to harp about the importance of markets outside of just the US and how different they are from the US market. So hearing this news was honestly really interesting and made me happy. It fills a massive gap where photographers can't afford or easily store fragile pro films and helped democratize pro photography in non-Western countries during the late 90s and 2000s. It also showed that you could make a film that was both good enough for pro work and tough enough for real life conditions. Pro Image, when initially created, was never meant to be super sexy. It was meant to be bulletproof and get the job done. It has super forgiving exposure latitude for a 100 speed film and is generally easy to scan. The colors come out clean without a ton of wrestling or fumbling around in software. It's also less prone to weird color casts under mixed lighting compared to other cheaper consumer film stocks like Color Plus or Gold 200. And while it doesn't necessarily feel fancy to use, like sometimes I feel when I'm using some of the professional Kodak films like Portra, the results are seriously pro level. Now, unlike some of the other Kodak films that I do love, Ektar being one of them, Pro Image doesn't necessarily struggle in any one specific thing like Ektar does with portraits. It's great for travel photography, especially in sunny places with that 100 ISO. It's good for portraits with absolutely killer colors for skin tones, and great for weddings, lifestyle, or casual fashion shoots, as the contrast and colors are good as long as you can control the lighting a little bit. And in general, it's great for everyday carry. It's got realistic colors, it's pretty flexible when it comes to its actual ISO, and it's cheap, which is always good, especially when you're kind of shooting away whimsically. I would say the biggest knock against it is that it does need a good amount of light. Since it is a 100 speed film, it's not super flexible, so you do have to be somewhat decisive as to when you're shooting it. I just recently shot through a full 5-pack, and honestly, I'm going to be ordering another 5-pack or 2 for the summer because I do think it is that great. For me, it slots perfectly into that 100 ISO if I don't want to shoot Ektar, like if I'm going to be shooting portraits of friends or want to throw it into a point and shoot, then I think that it's quite honestly the most underrated and is a perfect film that Kodak has made, especially considering the price point. That's one thing I don't want to be understated in the video is it's considerably cheaper, especially considering it goes on sale quite a bit, than most of the other film stocks that you're going to be buying, especially color film. It's just such a versatile film stock, and for the price that it's at, it's tough to argue against. For me, the value that is gold in 120, this is kind of like the same for 35mm. Gold is to 120 as Pro Image 100 is to 35mm. That makes sense in kindergarten terms. When I was shooting this, I didn't manage to get much video footage of any of the days shooting it, but I did go up to the Rocky Mountain National Park, so I'll let you enjoy some of these photos here momentarily. Ultimately, I think the photos speak for themselves. They're punchy and contrasty without being too, and shooting them in a variety of different locations has proved that they're quite flexible even in colder locations as well. If you've never shot Pro Image 100, get outside on a sunny day and make some frames, and use my affiliate link down in the description, as the kickback helps the channel out immensely. All right, enough of my preaching on the pulpit. I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you shot Pro Image 100, let me know down in the comments below what you think. Otherwise, until the next one, thank you guys so much for watching. Adios, stay safe, stay shooting. See you guys in the next one.